Georgia moves to 2-0 after a 45-3 win against Ball State Saturday. I'm joined by our Georgia beat writer, Chip Towers. Chip, a great game for Georgia quarterback Carson Beck. What did you see from him on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about him first, because I did think it was just quietly just a really solid game by Carson. It's a shame he's got the blemish of an interception on there, which was not his fault at all. It's actually another perfectly thrown ball to Dillon Bell that kind of gets deflected at the last minute and ends up in Ball State's hands. I mean, otherwise, it's pretty much a perfect day. He did bobble a ball, fumble it on a run early in the game, but otherwise, you really see Carson Beck kind of coming into his own, and Georgia's offense really around him. You're starting to see all that develop. Great day for Carson Beck.
Let's talk a little bit about Dillon Bell, who we know as a wide receiver for Georgia, but who scored a touchdown today as a running back. And we might see more of that because of how Georgia's banged up at that position group. What did you see from him? And let's run through the injuries for Georgia.
Well, the first thing I saw from Dillon Bell was validation, right? Because you've been hearing for the past couple of weeks, Dillon Bell's working at running back. Dillon Bell's working at running back. We actually were fortunate enough to get him in post-practice. We don't see a lot of practice. This just in. And so we asked Dillon, have you been working at running back? And he basically acknowledged it without any extrapolation. He's just, I'm working some at running back. We saw it today. And the thing is, he comes from Killian, Texas, and he played running back primarily. But Kirby made it clear in the post-game, he's like, no, our intention is not to turn him into a running back, but in our current situation, he is a wide receiver who can play running back. And we saw it today. Man, what a move in just a really, right tackle play. Great move to get to the outside, runs to the pylon. I think it's great. I thought we'd probably see Dajon Edwards today. We didn't, but between Lab McConkey and Dajon Edwards, Dillon Bell is allowing them to get healthy and be ready for the SEC opener against South Carolina next week.
Now, another slow start for Georgia. This game was 0-0 until Mekhi Mews runs back. A punt return for a touchdown, takes it all the way to the house. But again, now the final score, we might forget about this, or maybe fans won't, because this game did not start the way we anticipated yet again.
Well, there's a few things we can say. First off, I thought this game was totally set up to be ugly for Georgia, right? Ball State, they'd already been to Kentucky. I think they were a significantly better team than Tennessee Martin. They had some matchup issues that could have given Georgia some problems, and they didn't. But Mekhi Mews, number 87, really, I believe, a game changer for Georgia. He's a walk-on. He's out of Grayson, Lawrenceville area. And, you sit there and little 87's back there, and don't you feel the excitement? When he goes back for the punt, you're like, uh-oh, something could happen. I mean, he gets a 47-yard return on the opening kickoff. So I think that is really a difference maker for Georgia. They were slow to get started in the first quarter, but they did get down there and were knocking on the door and just kind of spitting the bit in the red zone. But otherwise, they were moving the ball pretty good. And let's not forget about that defense. Only gives up 3 points, 10 in the first 2 games. Solid overall, great second game for the Bulldogs.
Georgia coach Kirby Smart is not going to really love anything other than perfection. And he did have a gripe with Georgia giving up more rushing yards than you would expect. But, he also gave Ball State some props, and the way they were playing, the way they were trying to sort of just take the ball away from Georgia's offense.
I liked his honesty and transparency on that. He is right. When Ball State lines up and runs a lead play for 5 or 9 yards, that's potentially 30 or 40 yards in what you're about to get into in SEC play. So, it wasn't all unicorns and rainbows for Kirby. He saw a lot that can be corrected, but he talked about a great week of practice making this game into what it was, and I think he'll take all those things you need to work on into this week's practice, and I'm sure Georgia will be really focused for the SEC opener here on Dooley Field against South Carolina.
And we'll see if Georgia's ready to go next Saturday when they host South Carolina opening up SEC play. Chip, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you go to ajc.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel to find more videos just like this one.